What is happening, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C Dub, and I'm live in an unusual spur of the moment live too. So I hope you guys join me. I know that it's going to take some time for you guys to even see that I'm live if you are available to watch it. So I hope and appreciate it if you do get the opportunity to join me today. I did have somebody hop in, which is good stuff. I appreciate you guys. I wanted to give you a couple of quick updates. Sorry, I'm checking some stuff on my page real quick, but ultimately speaking, um, I had a situation with my camera I was recording, and my SIM card wasn't working, and so I was having some issues with that. I finally got my SIM card up, and then my SIM card was full, and so ultimately I have not had the opportunity to post lately. But I was just sitting down and editing up a video that I was going to post tomorrow, and I decided, you know what, there's another video I want to record, and then I thought about it, and I said, you know what, let me hop on right now live and do the video. So if you hop in, let me know in the chats. I'll try to get with you and say what's happening. But ultimately, I wanted to make sure that you guys had an opportunity to hear this thing live and had an opportunity to get going with good, solid information. So, hey, Miss Smith, what's happening? I'm doing an impromptu live. I wasn't planning on it, but it just so happened to be that I was about to record. I was actually sitting down to edit, and I was like, you know what, I want to go live and talk about the topic. Now I've got 5 people cooking. Thank you guys for hopping in. I appreciate you. If you could throw a thumbs up for me, it would mean the world. What is going on? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. So real quick, so the winter holidays coming, and generally across the board, no matter what religion we are, no matter what culture we're from, there's some kind of winter holiday. I mean, you've got Christians, you've got Christmas, you've got Judaism and Hanukkah, and the list just goes on and on and on. And almost everybody has some kind of winter type celebration. And this time of year, I would argue, you guys can let me know in the comments if you agree, but I would argue that this time of year is the most stressful and most likely to gain weight time of the year that there is. So I wanted to make a video because I actually had a coworker come up to me today and tell me, and she's been losing weight. She's down about 25 pounds, she said, and she's been doing really well the last couple months. And she said that she's just stuck right now, and she's so stressed and she's worried about it. And they've got all these plans coming up. And it just dawned on me that this isn't the only person that's going through this right now, that this is a problem that we are going to have across the board with my community and my channel. So many of you right now are going into the winter holiday, and you're wanting to continue on your journey, and you're wanting to continue to have great results. And that sometimes can be very difficult. And I'm going to explain why it can be difficult for kind of a 2-part way. The first way, hey, Jimmy, it's good to see you, man. Thank you for saying my information is helpful. Thank everybody that's joining me. Don't forget to hit the like when you guys come in. But the problem is twofold. One, we have a lot more family around us and a lot more eating, because that's just kind of how society is and how we celebrate and how we do things. So one, we're going to be tempted with a lot more food, and we're going to be around a lot more eating engagements. But the second part can't be underrated. Whether we want to admit it or not, everything about the winter holiday season, no matter what religious background you are, is stressful. We look at it as a time of joy, but it's really a time of stress, and we don't like to talk about that. And the reasons why I say it's stress is, I mean, just in my house, you've got a Christmas tree. Our Christmas lights didn't work. Then we had to redraw the Christmas lights. We bought brand new lights, and then part of those fell out. And then we have to decorate, and then we have to worry about putting stuff up and finding time. And you start to get all of that going at this time of year, plus the fact that you got family coming in, or you're going out of town and you're traveling. And no matter which way it goes, you're sleeping in a new place, or you're having new people sleep at your house. All of these different things are happening to all of us, no matter kind of which background we're from. And it's super ridiculously stressful. And when you're stressed, your cortisol levels raise. You don't get to lose weight as easily, and that's a problem. So what's happening, Spivey? What's happening, Ricardo? Nice to see you guys, man. So I think that you are, and Ricardo, I appreciate you following the workout plan. We'll talk a little bit more about working out in a second. We can, for sure. So if you do have questions too, I'm going to be live for a minimum of 30 minutes. I could be live a little bit longer. So if you have the questions, go ahead and drop them as you come in. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. So because you're so stressed, And because we're around more eating situations, it just makes the situation worse. So I want to talk about what a real win is. Now, I'm not discouraging any of you from the thought processes that you are. Some of you are going to crush it through the holidays. When I lost weight, I'm not going to lie, I crushed it through the holidays. I did well. I stayed to my plan. I didn't worry if people were around. I just didn't eat. But I know it's not realistic for everyone else in the world to just do as they always do. So what I suggest is that you look at this Christmas, this next 2 weeks, as this kind of thought process. If I get to January and I don't gain, then I win. It may not be about losing for the next 2 weeks. It may be about maintaining. First, it's practice when you're finished losing weight. But second of all, it's just an understanding that this is very stressful time. Adding to that stress may not be the best thing. On the other side of that too, enjoying things socially should be something you're allowed to do. So it's a balance that you have to be able to figure out. And that balance is right in front of you. But you just have to be smart about it. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean you can jump off the deep end and do whatever you want over the Christmas break. You got to be smart. Try to only do one social engagement a day. Try to make it within your eating window. Try to make sure you're managing all of those things, and try to make sure that you're taking time for yourself. I think that's the most important thing, is to make sure you're still getting on your walk, or you're doing things where you're taking time for yourself to decompress some of the stressful part of the holidays, and give yourself an opportunity to sit back and relax and let those cortisol levels even back out and get yourself back on the fat burning track. So I was going to record that video, the spiel I just gave you guys, and put it up on the channel probably on Sunday, but I decided I probably still will post on Sunday, but I just decided that it would be better to address it live. Like, what's the point in recording it? I was right here and I had some time, and I said, you know what? I'm going to push back editing a little bit. I do got to get editing done because I got an amazing video for you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be cool. It's 8 things that I learned losing 125 pounds, not necessarily through fasting, but just what I learned through the weight loss process. So that video is coming tomorrow. It's going to be epic. I'm going to try to get the videos aligned now that I got my Sims card back up and running and I got my camera good to go. I'm feeling better about that situation. And look, it was a stressful situation for me too. Work is not only difficult, but I'm in the middle of wrestling season. And on top of wrestling season, we just wrestled on Tuesday. I had 7 of my wrestlers have the flu. It's been an up and down, interesting time. So ironically speaking, I don't really feel like I got sick, which is pretty cool, and probably because of my fasting. I don't know. But let me go check out the chat real quick and catch back up. And then maybe, Ricardo, we can talk about the weight, the program. If you're still on, Ricardo, let me know exactly what you're lifting, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking there. So, thank you so much, first of all, Aurora, for saying that I'm your idol. I do not take that with well, I don't know what the word is, a grain of salt or whatever. That is an amazing thing for somebody to say about me. Thank you so much. Just keep grinding. You're going to get it done, girl. You're going to get it done. I promise. So, hi from Wales. It's good to see you, Spivey. Yeah. Let's see here. Hello. It's great to catch you live in an evening community. Yeah. You know, what happened was I had to edit, just to let you know why I popped on live now. And I was overwhelmed because I have to edit and I had to film another this video that I just did a minute ago for you guys. And I was like, you know, and my kids had jujitsu. So my wife was like, you know what? I'll take the kids to jujitsu. You go ahead and handle your YouTube stuff. And I sat down to edit and I just said, wait a minute. I have probably 25 minutes of editing left. I can still get the editing done before they get home from jujitsu, and I could go live. And I know the channel, because my camera was a little messed up, I missed a few days. So I know you guys needed a video, and I just felt like getting on here live was a good thing to do. Plus, I kind of wanted to see what was happening on a weekend live as opposed to my normal in the week live, and kind of get a balance and idea there. So I am glad to be here. I'm glad to be live. I appreciate you guys popping in. Hi, Melissa. It's good to see you. Some days you eat more. Maybe you feel cold after swimming. I always feel cold after. Look, I feel cold, period. Right now, I literally have a blanket over my entire lower half of my body because I'm freezing. I think it comes with weight loss. The cold thing, I don't know if I can put my finger on it exactly, but I used to be hot all the time. I lost weight, and now I'm not. So, you know, yeah, look, the topic for tomorrow is fun because it's, like I said, it's things that I learned that aren't fasting related. So in other words, when I talk about the 8 topics tomorrow, I'm not talking about like, well, I learned that I can go longer without food. It's none of that stuff. It's like real things that I have picked up from losing weight that have nothing to do with carbs or whatever else. It just has to do with kind of what I've learned going around. You're using the machines and free weights. That's good. So let me tell you guys, let me update you a little bit on a couple of things in my own personal journey so we can move forward from there. One of which is I talked to you guys a long time ago about the push-up challenge that I started in November. Just to give you the background on that, if you don't remember, I had walked for 365 days without missing at least a minimum of 10,000 steps. And I wanted to add to that and do push-ups. And I felt like the new November, I would be able to do push-ups. I included my family and we started doing push-ups together as a family. But the problem is we caught some times when I was coaching and different things were going on where I wasn't home for bed, or maybe the kids, one kid spent the night out or something happened. And so the push-up challenge started to get a little rickety, and I missed already multiple days of the push-up challenge. So I'm going to try to get back on track with the push-up challenge. I've probably missed half the days lately. I haven't been doing very well on it. So the push-up challenge, I got to get back into it. Maybe just make it a my thing, because I think including my family really threw me off a little. But the other good news is I started back in the weight room. So I've been lifting this whole week. I will continue to lift. I lifted today. And the interesting part about my lifting, because I did tell you guys previously that I was going to get back in the weight room. So let me break down what I did in the weight room and what's different this time from in the spring when I was lifting. So I'm now lifting at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm doing chest and tris, and then I'm doing back and bis, and then I'm doing legs, core, like abs kind of deal. And I'm throwing shoulders in on any day that I'm like moving fast. If I'm going through the day fast, I add shoulders into that day, because your back and your bis work together, your chest and your tris work together, and your core and your legs work together. So I feel like that's very symbiotic, but your shoulders maybe work with your legs, but shoulder press, shoulder stuff raises a little bit different. So I kind of just throw them in wherever I can fit them. And then I have a rest day and I'm back at it. So basically this week, I started on Monday and I lifted through the week with a rest day. I rested on Tuesday, which is really weird. And I know that sounds like, well, you should lift more days before you have your rest day. But I wrestled on Tuesday, so I fast on Tuesday. That's another thing I've added back into my life. I no longer eat on days that I have wrestling matches. So that's at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So if it's a Friday, Saturday night match, I probably won't eat Friday, but will eat Saturday. But on a Saturday night match, I'm definitely not going to be eating, or on, like the Tuesday, Wednesday matches. So in the process of being able to do that, this week, I did not want to lift, or I'm not going to lift. I'll tell you guys that on the day that I don't eat. I don't know why. I feel like I need to put some kind of protein in my body on lifting days. But interestingly enough, and the reason why I think it's important to bring this up as a topic is I lifted fasted. So I've lifted, and obviously in the morning fasted, but I started lifting at 6:30 in the morning. I don't eat until 5:30 at night. So we're talking about 11 hours after I lifted, I'm eating. And so the big question there is, how am I handling that? How is it feeling to me being able to go that period of time? Because I'm going to tell you, before, when I was lifting in the spring, I lifted right before I ate, and I was ready to eat every single time I put a weight down. Well, let me tell you, I felt that way on Monday for sure. I lifted. I did not feel good. I felt like I needed to eat. I did not eat. I gritted through the day. Tuesday, I didn't eat at all. Come back Wednesday and lifted, and I felt the same way I did Monday. But I'm happy to say that Thursday and Friday, I made it with no issues. I was able to lift, and I was able to get to my eating window without a problem. So I think my body has already begun to adjust to that schedule. So I think that's something that you guys can take into consideration if you're lifting and it's really difficult. I was a little dizzy. I felt weak all day Monday, but I definitely felt better Thursday and Friday, and I felt great today. I lifted good and hard with a couple of my wrestlers this morning, went through the whole day. Everything was fine. So backing up to the questions. Thanks for saying the stream is good. I appreciate you. No doubt about it. Eating is very weird habit. Actually, I am satisfied after 1 or 2 small meals. I have a habit of getting satisfied going on a diet from Weight Watchers, and your diet and off of all diabetic. Man, that is great, Jimmy. I'm going to tell you what, it is so good to hear that you're off of your diabetic medications. You know, I mean, I can't tell you enough, man. Diabetes is a very serious thing, and you can get into a lot of stuff. So being able to move yourself off of that is just an amazing thing. And lots of salad, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad you said it's a way of life, Jimmy, because I just want to, make sure that we all know that once we lose it, we have to continue to do what we did to lose it, and that's the main thing there. So, and by the way, Weight Watchers, in case any of you want my opinion on Weight Watchers, because I know a lot of people, by the way, hit that like right there, guys. A lot of people do the Weight Watchers, and they, have had success, and some people have no success on Weight Watchers. And there's like a balance there, and a lot of people are very opinionated on it. I just wanted to say that I think that Weight Watchers, in a way, is a very good thing because it kind of teaches you what calories are without teaching you. The points are really just calories. And so it's showing you, okay, by your size and by your weight, you have this many points you can eat. The problem that people have is they start off, they give them a bunch of points and they start to lose weight. And then once they're losing weight, their points start to lower and then they get upset. Once they've got adjusted to eating, let's say 20 points a day, they're like, I got 20 points a day. And then they make the weigh in, they've lost weight, they get on the scale. And now the Weight Watchers people are telling them, oh, well, now you can only have 18 points. And they're like, what? And then they're so upset about that they have to eat less and they have to figure it out. But that's the reality of weight loss. As you lose more, you're going to have to adjust yourself over and over again. So it's doing that in a way for you. But I think that it alone isn't as powerful as intermittent fasting alone. But if you can take Weight Watchers and allow them to hold you a little bit accountable there and use a fasting window, I think it's a good thing. I don't think there's any problem with it. But if you also want to save your money and not do Weight Watchers, that's fine too. And sometimes I think that they give you the little sliding card, if I remember correctly, many years ago. I knew somebody that did it to show you what the points are, and you kind of know in your head what points you should be eating. So after a while, you don't even have to pay them. You can just slide your little card and adjust. And as you lose weight, move your points down, and you don't need them. Just my thoughts, but I think it's a fine thing to do. It's getting easier to go longer, and it's going to, Jimmy. It's going to get easier and easier and easier on you, bud. There's no doubt about it. Intermittent fasting is difficult in the beginning. It's not so difficult down the line, no doubt. As long as you can get your protein in within 24 hours lifting, you'll be fine. CW. Yeah, Spivey, that's the problem, though. If I lift on wrestling days, think of it this way, Spivey. So I'm lifting on, like, Tuesday I wrestled. So if I lift at 6 in the morning, I'm not going to eat again until 6 o'clock at night on Wednesday. So it's way more than 24 hours. So that's kind of where I kind of feel iffy on my fasting days. Like when I say fasting days, I fast every day, as you guys know, 23 hours. But I'm added in that 48-hour fast once, sometimes twice a week. I'm not comfortable lifting on the day that I'm not eating because it's going more than 24 hours. And that's basically the way I feel about it. And I could be wrong. I could be paranoid. But, just for me personally, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's right. On rest phase for you, do you recommend cardio, elliptical, whatever else? Okay, so my main cardio is going to be walking. And I do recommend walking every day. Now, if you're not going to be a walker and you're going to hop on an elliptical, you're going to ride a bike, you're going to do something like that, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with doing it on your rest days. You got to remember there's a couple of different things that I would say, Ricardo. So one, lifting weights and doing cardio are two totally different things, as we can all imagine. Okay, lifting weights is going to rebuild and build muscle, right? So it's going to add muscle to you. Cardio is going to burn energy. So weightlifting does burn energy, but it's putting in more energy too. And so when you're burning cardio, it's just exporting all of your energy. It's just getting rid of all of it, right? So what I would say is that if you're on your resting day, burning a little bit of extra energy is not going to hurt your muscles from getting bigger. Now, of course, if you're using the same muscles, there could be some soreness you got to get through and all of that. But ultimately speaking, the cardio is not going to negatively affect your strength gains. On the other side of that, I think that if you do give yourself a little bit of rest, there's nothing wrong with that too. But I find that you need to find something that you can do consistently. And for me, that's walking. And so, I'm not going to get on an elliptical mainly because my knee won't let me, but I can walk. I can put one foot in front of the other one and I can keep cruising that way. And I think that that's a helpful thing. So, that might be something you can check out. But ultimately, yeah, I think if you want to do cardio on your off day, do it. Another thing you can do on your off day is sauna, or like a hot yoga class, or just yoga in general. A lot of people, I've never even done a yoga class, being honest with you. My wife does it. She's an advocate of it. And I've done a lot of research into yoga, and it's a really positive thing. With my knee, can't really hold a lot of poses. But ultimately speaking, I think if you're a pretty healthy guy, that's a good way to go. Definitely something you can do. So diet is a way of life. It has to be. To get creative at gap fasting, I feel so much better. Yep. Okay. Finally getting into OMAD. Did 3 days this week in a row. Melissa, that's what I'm talking about. I'm proud of you. It's going to get easier, Melissa. It really is. I promise. You're not nomad yet, but hey, Jimmy, just take your time. Get there when you get there. I actually want to talk a little bit about that topic too in a second, because I got a little bit of inspiration from another YouTuber today, watching her emotional, even though I haven't commented on it yet. I did see it, watching her emotional thing today. And I wanted to talk to each one of you and stress a few things too. But let me see what Melissa said. So 3 to 4 days of lifting is enough for me. I'm getting older. It takes a little bit more for me to recover. Absolutely. Listen, also, keep in mind that I'm talking about a rest day and lifting. I'm really only lifting 3 to 4 days a week, because I lift Monday, Tuesday I rest because I've wrestled a match this week. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm lifting. A lot of times Friday, Saturday, I'm wrestling, so I'm not eating. I'm not doing it again. So sometimes I'm lifting 4 days. Sometimes I'm lifting 3 days. I'm never going to be lifting more than 5 days. My weekends are always going to be recovery. I think 3 to 4 days of lifting is plenty, Melissa. So you don't got to worry about that. I think you're right on the track there. The doctors are getting rich off of people's medicine. Facts. No doubt about it. And I don't know that all of them are intentionally doing that, but that's the system we have in place. The system we have in place is if you go to the doctor, you feel like, and this comes from us too. I think it comes from commercials and everything they put on TV. But if you go to the doctor tomorrow and you say you don't feel good, and the doctor looks at you and he was just to say to you, okay, it's going to pass, go home, you would feel ripped off. You'd be like, well, where's my prescription? So the doctors feel obligated in a lot of ways to write a prescription. It's a messed up system that we have. Our whole way of looking at medicine is just broken and backwards. And it is all for profit. And you're right about all those kind of things. So I don't disagree with that at all. Monday, you have a huge protein dinner, which will help you get through Tuesday's workout and restore. Absolutely. All right. Now, let me just hop on this, touch on this brief subject. I don't know. Obviously, I'm an advocate supporter of OMAD Caroline and her channel. Today, I caught her video where she got a little emotional talking about her weight loss journey. And it ringed in something. If you haven't seen it, go check that video out. I have not commented yet on her video because I was in class when I saw it, and my comments are disabled at school, so couldn't really make a comment, but I'll get to it in a bit. But I wanted to stress one thing about it, and that is the fact that we get so hung up on what people think and say about us in life and in weight loss on YouTube. And if you remember back into your schooling days, your high school and your middle school, and it's always this big, huge thing where we are concerned with what the people around us think about us. And I think that it gets ingrained into our DNA. And we never really get completely away from it. Even at work, you're probably like, well, what does this person think? What does that person think? And when you get into a weight loss journey, you quickly find out that everyone is an expert. And so I say that as you sit here and some of you look at me as an expert. But ultimately, what I'm saying is I run into people that have never lost a pound in their life, but yet they know, whether they think through school or whether they think because their friend lost weight, or whether they think whatever it is, it's because they've never gained weight, they know. and they're going to tell you their opinions about weight loss and about what you're doing. And it's a very discouraging situation because these people are not up to speed with what you're doing. And so they come at you with this approach that what you're doing is dangerous or what you're doing is wrong. And then we get into this weird place where you have people that have had some success, whether they've lost 25 pounds, 50 pounds, whether they've done this or whether they've done that, and they've done it in a particular way. And so then they anoint themselves. And this is the one that I see most often. They anoint themselves as an expert. And the way that you lose weight is the way that they lost weight. And they tell you when you're doing it wrong that you are, or not when you're doing it wrong. It's not what I meant to say. They tell you that you're doing it wrong and that their way is the appropriate way to lose weight. And this is a very dangerous, slippery slope that we get in on. And so I wanted to address this real quick so that you guys are full understanding 100%. When you're going through your weight loss journey, it is a very personal thing. You are going to go through things that I have never seen. And some other people are going to go through things that other people haven't. And you're going to have to navigate situations that people you look up to haven't navigated. Now, you can probably find someone that's done a similar situation to you if you look hard enough, but you have to find a person through each situation you go through, and you're going to go through many in weight loss. So you might find a solution from this person here, but they lost weight a completely different way, but you can take one piece of what they did and add it into what you're doing to help you get through a certain situation or a certain place. So ultimately, though, when you're going through this journey, you've got to tune out other people. I'm going to tell you right now that I've sat on this channel and been attacked in my comments. I've had people email me and I've had people DM me. And in all of those situations, people have wrote me and told me that I was going to fail. Now, keep in mind, I did not start my YouTube channel until I had already lost 110 or 12 pounds. So in that process, I've already lost weight. And these people are looking at me, telling me I'm going to fail. I see you popped in, Zeb. Good to see you, man. And I think Zeb's going through a weight loss journey on YouTube right now. So he's going to be a person that has to deal with this because people are going to get on his channel and tell him why he's wrong, why he's making a mistake. You are doing this wrong and your eating should be this way and not that way. And you're having too much fat and you're having not enough fat and you're eating too much protein. You're not eating enough protein. You're not putting enough time into cardio. You should be in the weight room more often. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it doesn't stop because people think that they know best because of the success that they have had, even if it's limited. So in a lot of cases, you've had more success than them, but yet they think that they know what it takes or what you're doing wrong, or they're trying to reach out for you. And some of these people actually have genuine concerns with you. They like your channel. They like you as a person. And they're like, this dude's going to fail because they've been brainwashed by whatever part of it is. And you guys can guess the one that hits me the most, the one I get hit in the comment if you think you know what group of people hit me up the most. I'll let it go for a second, see if anybody can go. Out of all the diet people, out of all the things, who always tells me I'm wrong? Think about that for a second. While you guys are thinking about that, let me continue on. But you got to navigate this situation and you've got to look at it and say, listen, what they did is not what I am doing, and that is okay. And that is a very difficult thing for people to understand. What people need to understand is it is your journey. If you guys are listening to other people and they are telling you that you're failing when you're not, you've got to cut them. You've got to cut them out of your life because they're not there to help you. The one promise I will give you on this channel, and I see you hopping in, James. Good to see you, buddy. And Sherry, good to see you too. The one thing I'm going to say is if I ever tell you my way is the only way, hit that unsubscribe button and leave my channel. Because the one message that I want to make clear is that it's your way. All I am here to do is to give you guidance, to show you how I did it so you can learn from the different parts of my journey that can apply to you. That does not mean that you need to apply my journey to you. What that means is if you think that this part is good, take it. If you think that that part is good, take it. And if you're just here to get a pat on the back and say, you know, get some love and support from C-Dub, I'm here for that too. I'm here to help you get through your life and get through and make yourself better. But you have to find your path. Your Tao or your path is yours. It is not mine. So I just wanted to make sure that that was very clear, and the people nailed it over there. I see she said keto, Sherry, and I see James said keto. So let me just say that no disrespect to the keto community, because I know you're on my channel and I love you guys, but I get hammered by keto. And the number one thing people say in keto all the time is you're going to gain your weight back because you eat carbs. And here I am, not gaining jack back. That's the bottom line, but I hear it all the time. And I even have been told on Instagram by people I was following that I'm going to gain weight back. And then now we're a year later and they're gaining weight back in their pictures and in their Instagram, and they're not talking about keto anymore. And it's like, I thought I was the one that was going to gain their weight back. So I can tell you firsthand that when somebody is jamming their philosophy down your throat, just move on from them, because what they're ultimately doing is they're either doing two things. One, they're selling you something, because if I'm selling you on my diet, I'm making money and I need you to believe in it 100% so that you continue to buy product, right? And if they're not doing that, then they are brainwashed by somebody that is selling product. And those are the only two ways to go about it. You know, you don't have to lose weight in any way out there. You can figure it out. You can miss and match it. You know, some people have success. We talked about a second ago, Weight Watchers. I told you my concerns about Weight Watchers, but people have great success on it. People have success on Jenny Craig. People have success on 6 meals a day. People have success on 16 and 8 and Warrior and OMAD. People have success skipping meals, alternate day fasting. People have success combining all those things. Look, I'm telling you right now, if you think about it, I'm fasting 2 days a week now, and I'm doing OMAD the rest. So I'm doing a 5-2 OMAD. You know, I mean, it's a 5-2 diet, right? Everybody says 5-2 diets are terrible. Well, maybe not, you know, and I'm not always going to do that. It's just a wrestling season thing. I think it gets me more in touch and focused. And I also believe that if I'm super busy and I have a day that's going to be 16 hours long, why am I stopping what I'm doing to eat? Let's just get through the day and grind through it. So those are some of the reasons why I choose to fast on those days. But I just want to make sure you all know that you are okay. If you're losing weight, keep losing it. That's just the way that it goes. So let me go back up to Zeb real quick, up in the comments. All right, doesn't even matter if they lost more than you. It doesn't mean that what does works for you. No, that's 100% right. Because I'm going to tell you now, I tried to lose weight a lot of different ways, and I've done it the way that a lot of people said to do it, and it's never really been successful for me. So why are we sweating it? You know, it's not something that you know I need to sweat. But would you like to meet? You would like to meet me one day, Jimmy? Well, you know, what I would love to see happen, Jimmy, and I hope that this does. Man, I'm telling you, I thought about trying to organize it, but I'm not big enough yet. But maybe if I get like up over that 100,000 subscriber mark one day, I think we should have a fasting. You guys can give me your thoughts, but a fasting convention, maybe a weekend of the year. We do it right here in Williamsburg, Virginia, the birthplace of the United States of America, right? Jamestown, right down the street, the settlement, all of it. Everybody come in for a weekend. We all hang out as fasters. I'm talking keto fasters, vegan fasters, 18 and 16 and 8 fasters, warrior diets, OMADs, alternate day, just everybody that has fasting. And a lot of the YouTube guys and girls out there can get up in front of everybody, and we can have speeches and we can talk and we can get to know each other. A lot of the YouTube fasting community can meet a lot of the people. I think it would be amazing to have a fasting convention once a year, and everybody leave their judgment at home and get together and just talk about fasting lifestyle and how much it's benefited all of us. I think it would be amazing to meet a lot of people and be able to do that. And you never know, Jimmy, I would love to one day get into public speaking. Maybe if I do, I would get a chance to speak somewhere near you sometime. You get a chance to come meet me, for sure. Georgia's not too far. I'm in Virginia. Oh, Zeb, man, thank you so much for the super chat. I just saw that. Thank you. You are the man, Zeb. You know I love you. You keep grinding. By the way, I need an update, Zeb, on your weight loss. I need an update on your journey. Let me know down below how things are going, if I can help you in any way. You said keto, you're still learning that you can eat balanced, and OMAD and eating makes you feel good, but you do love keto. Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of people do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think if I did choose a diet, it would be something similar to that. I think I would be more of a fat and protein kind of guy, but not so much where I'm counting the fat up as much as keto wants to do it. I think protein for me, I like more than keto, but it is what it is. Each is its own. 2 people in Georgia. Check that out. Maybe I will have to make a Georgia trip. Let's see here. You got to do what works. Absolutely. You did keto for 3 years. They're the carbs. You thought carbs made you fat. You were wrong. On a low carb, increase your carbs around 100 grams. You haven't gained any weight. Well, a lot of people believe that too. Listen, in the 90s, when they came out with the low fat stuff, lots of people lost weight. Lots of people lost weight. It's the exact opposite of keto. Up your carbs like crazy, cut your fat out, and you have a carb protein based diet, and people lost weight. Now, if I had to choose between the two of them, you put a gun to my head, I would go keto over low carb. But it's very important to know that people lost weight too, and that all of the diets work as long as you're restricting your calories. And that brings me to one other topic in a second. We're going to get into Fledge Fitness. Did a video today. I want to talk a little bit about that. I don't know if you guys watch Fledge, but he's awesome. No doubt about it. But his video is very interesting. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts, and I wanted to give you mine too. You think it's up to the person either way. The way of life for me that works. Absolutely. Again, Zeb, thank you for the super chat. I'm catching up. You're down for a keto con. Yeah, I want to do a fasting con though. I want to get together intermittent fasters from everywhere. 64 pounds. Good job, Zeb, man. You are killing it. You are totally killing it, man. How do you get pictures? How do I get pictures of you? Not a very tech savvy person. Instagram, man. Instagram. Pictures of me on Instagram, pictures of me on Facebook. So those are two easy ways. You just hit left click on it and then copy it. I missed Paula. Paula, hey, nice for you to join us, Paula. Let me read your comment real quick. You've tried just about every plan known to man. They all worked until you started eating unhealthy again. You failed to make lifestyle changes. No, that's it. Paula, I think you nailed it. Comment of the day right there. Because I did the same thing, lose weight, and then you don't change what you're doing. And that's why I love OMAD, because I can do it day in and day out. And it gets going. How do you manage to deal with hunger when you start intermittent fasting? Muhammad, that's a good question. I think the number one thing is make sure your window isn't too long in the beginning. Even if you have to start at 12 and 12, start at 12 and 12. But I'd like for you to start at 16 and 8 and then work your way down when you get used to it, because you will get used to it. If you do 16 and 8 for a month, you're going to get used to it. I promise. And then you just start shrinking that window on down. That's my 2 cents. How do you survive OMAD without getting dizzy? Kate, listen, I think it just takes time. I didn't jump into OMAD on day one. Hey, what's happening, Tattoo Woman? Good for you to join us. My little impromptu out of nowhere live that didn't tell anybody about. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Kate, I think that you will get less dizzy over time. And if you're getting to a point where you're doing like more than 16 hours and you're saying, because you put OMAD in there. So if you can do 16 hours without getting dizzy, stay 16 for a second and expand it to 18 and see if you can do 18 without getting dizzy. And if you can do 18 without getting dizzy, move it to 20 and then get closer to OMAD. Don't just think you have to be an OMAD right off the bat. But again, if you stayed with OMAD consistently for a month, I think the dizziness would go away. 100%. Just remember that hunger is not a constant. It comes in waves. That's true too. Drink a lot of water. He's right about that. If you get hungry, drink water. If you get hungry, get up and go on a walk. That's another thing that I do. I used to get hungry and I just say, all right, it's time for me to leave. I'm sitting down too much. One thing that I will stress before I get into Fledge Fitness's video too is boredom. Boredom, boredom, boredom. A lot of times we're hungry, but what's really going on is we're bored. And if you get up and start moving, that hunger will subside, it will go away, and you'll be able to move on with your day. And that's a fantastic place to be. So get going there. Now, what's interesting, hey, Sun family, thanks for joining me all the way from the Caribbean. Thank you so much, of West Indies. Wow. You're way, way, way far away. Thank you. What time is it where you are? Let me know. I'd like to know. Very interesting to find out what time it is there. So let me tell you guys this real quick. So I watched Fledge's video, and his video was intermittent fasting versus intermittent fasting. You guys can comment if you saw the video. If not, when you get off here, check that video out. But it's very interesting that there was a study, and he talks about the study, and they wanted to test somebody that's doing intermittent fasting. I think it was a 16-8 protocol with no calorie restrictions, eat whatever you want, versus people that are restricted in calories, and how their blood work went and how everything went. And I'm glad you saw it there, Tattooed Woman. It's a good video. And by the way, Sun family, thank you for, it's nice to hear that you're doing 3 months of OMAD. I hope it's going well. Let me know if you're losing weight, how you feel in the comments, so I can catch up, and see what's going on that. You saw it too, James. So this is an interesting topic. And I figured I'd go ahead and address it right now because, and looking at the study, when you first hear it, these people can eat whatever they want. These people, oh, thank you, OMAD Caroline. OMAD Caroline, it is so good to see you. Thank you for the 777. I appreciate you. OMAD Caroline, I was just talking. When you get a chance later, rewind, watch the playback, because I talk about your video today, your emotional video. In your journey, and I talk about my perspective of that, Caroline. So I think you'll just like what I had to say, because I think that you are amazing, and I think that I've gone through some of the same things you've gone through, and I've taken some of the same criticisms and from people, and I just find that you'll no, it was a great, hey, nothing wrong with your video, Caroline. It was amazing. So you guys got to check out Caroline and Fledge Fitness when we get off here. Lots to do. But Caroline, anyways, so I did not comment on it because I was on my school computer and I couldn't comment. I will comment later. But I did want to let you know that you do got to turn off the noise. I'm proud of you. You're amazing. And hopefully when I said the other day that you may hit a plateau, Tread, you weren't talking about me in the video. Because I was just saying, what I'm saying, because I want you to be successful and I want you to do good, girl. I'm proud of you. You're amazing. And she's doing right now, guys, if you didn't know, she's doing 48 hours and then eating. And sometimes I think she may even be doing 72 hours and then eating. So she is killing it right now. I can't wait to see how long she does that for and how much it gets going. But I got to rewind, got to get back to Fledge, got to get back to that video. So this Fledge Fitness video, when you take a look at the Fledge Fitness video, you're in a situation where he's talking about people are not restricted by calories. They can eat whatever they want, and a group that is restricted by calories doing the exact same fasting protocol. And the end result was it was even across the board. Both lost weight, both blood levels and everything worked out to be about the same, both insulin resistance and a lot of other stuff. Now, on the surface, amazing study. But I do want to caution you, if you did watch it, to say that is not a reason to be able to eat whatever you want and to be able to say, I can just go at it and have as many calories as I want. A few things. The average age was 22. A lot of us aren't 22 years young anymore. Your metabolism is way faster at 22 than it is at 42. And that's something you have to take into consideration, that this study was done on younger people. Another thing to consider is this study's time limit was not long-term. It was a shorter study. So those are two very important things to say, that the calorie restriction may play more importance in the long term and may play more importance the older you get. With all of that said, I agree with everything Fledge said in his video. I do recommend you check it out. I just wanted to give those two little points there. That doesn't mean if you're like C-Dub and you're 40 plus years old that you can just go to town because this one study said people at 16 and 8 lost the same as, the other study, 16 and 8. And another thing it didn't compare was shorter windows. Are the people at 16 and 8 eating as much as losing as much as the people that are doing OMAD? And, so forth and so on. The people that are doing like Caroline with alternate, what is that, 72 hours? I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's a Cole Robinson thing. Maybe she can talk about in the comment, over there. But 72 hours eat, 72 hours eat, 48 hours eat, that kind of diet, and understanding that, the differences in what you're doing there. So I just thought I would hit all that up, but let me go back up here. See my uncle's on. Everybody say what's up to Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, good for you to join us. Thank you. Funny you think things don't bug you, but it's crazy what you're holding on to. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. I definitely got your back, Caroline. You're right there. You're one of my generals in the weight loss warrior army. And what I support most in Caroline is her ability to understand that it's her journey. And I told you guys that earlier. The number one thing I want you to get from my channel is understand that it's your journey. And there's two things about that you need to understand. Number one, it's your journey and your decisions, and you have to do what's right for you to get yourself through and not listen to the noise. The second, you can give me credit, or you can give Fledge Fitness credit, or you can give whoever you're watching credit. You can say these people helped you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can show me love and say, if it wasn't for you, C-Dub, I wouldn't have gotten here. But at the end of the day, you have to recognize that you did it. I did not do it. When Zeb put 64 up, Zeb lost that. I didn't do it. I lost 125 of my pounds for me. This is for you, and you are doing it. Okay? So that's something that you need to own. You need to own it when you're failing, and you need to own it when you're succeeding. Because if you don't own those things, then you're never going to be able to correct things, and you're always going to believe that other people, did it for you. And at the end of the day, you did it. OMAD Caroline has done it. 60-something crazy pounds she's lost. She's soon going to be like a size 0. I mean, she's just killing it. Absolutely killing it. At the end of the day, she did it. She did it. Nobody else did. It's something that I think a lot of people struggle with is they listen to too many other people and they worry about what they did to be successful. And then 2, they don't give themselves credit. Give yourself credit. Tattooed Human's been at maintenance for 5 years. That's amazing. Maybe it's even longer than that. I can't remember exactly, but that's amazing. You weight loss warriors, you have done it and you're doing it, and you deserve credit for that. So make sure you take the time to understand it. Make sure you don't sneeze at things like, Sun Family, you've almost lost 13 pounds. Go pick up a 15-pound dumbbell. Tell me that's not significant. That dumbbell that you're picking up, it weighs enough to take pressure off of your knees. It weighs enough to make your back feel better. It weighs enough to make you breathe better when you sleep at night. It matters. Every single one of those pounds matter. Each and every one of you matter. And you got to continue to remember that, as you go through your journey. So anyways, Zeb, thanks for showing my uncle some love, man. Appreciate you, man. You're 68 and your weight, you're really starting to come off. Your weight didn't really start to come off until you started doing OMAD. Well, Bling Lab, I think that is, I'm glad you found OMAD, and I'm glad it's coming off, because it's not too late at 68 years old. As a matter of fact, I saw something the other day that was talking about how you can reverse years of brain plaque through fasting. And I really wish I would be able to, off the top of my head, pull that up. If I think of it later when I'm doing the description a couple hours from now for this, I'll try to link it in there for you. But you're never too young to get healthy. You really are. You're going to add years to your life, and I'm glad you found OMAD. I hope it continues to work out for you. How much total weight have you lost right now? All right, OMAD, peace. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you for hitting the super chat. And Caroline, make sure you watch the rewind so you can hear all the kind things I said about you. I think you'll enjoy it. How do you manage to reach your daily calorie intake every day? Sometimes when I fast, I find myself eating less calories than I need and end up going to bed hungry. Okay, well, that's a very good question too, Mohammed, because I don't have a problem, but I do have advice for you. So when I sit down to eat, I can eat. I literally now sort of kind of just have a feel and I know when to stop, but I think my leptin was so broke that for years that I just overate everything and I can sit down and I can stuff myself silly if I want to. So I have no problems. But in your situation, what you just said was very interesting. Now, I don't know when you're eating your meal. I don't know if you're eating at noon, midday, if you're eating at night, or when you're eating your meal. But if you're sitting down to eat your meal and you're doing OMAD and then you're getting hungry later at night, there could be a chance that you didn't get enough calories. But what could help you a little bit is switching to a 4-hour eating window and eating 2 times within that 4 hours. Now, I want to stress that if you're doing a warrior diet, eating for 4 straight hours isn't a bright idea. But if you can eat, like let's say you're normally eating at 6 o'clock at night. So now you're going to go maybe at 3 o'clock at night, you're going to start eating. And you're going to have something nice and healthy and good for you, some vegetables, whatever else. You eat that meal, and then you eat your next one at 6 with all of everything else you need, proteins, fats, carbs, whatever it is you're going to eat. I think you're going to be able to feel like you're sustained more longer. One other thing you can do, Muhammad, is make 100% sure your protein levels are high. And the reason you want to get your protein levels high is it's been proven to satiate you longer and make you less hungry when you have an adequate amount of protein. So if you're skimpy on your protein, Muhammad, it's going to come back and bite you later on at night. All right, guys. I'm probably going to hang out for another 9 minutes. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me, man. I appreciate you guys, but I only got 19 likes and I'd like more. Thank you. So anyways, so let's see here. Greetings to you. That was good stuff. All right, Brock, you said, how's your push-up challenge going? Brock, I talked about it earlier today, to be honest with you, but I'll go back over it real quick. Basically, I added my family in and we were doing it together. And I think we got through the first 14 or so days of November, no problems at all. We were all doing them. But I started getting into wrestling and then I started missing some of their bedtimes and then they would forget. And then I was doing it and they didn't. And then we were trying to miss a match and it got me thrown off and I've missed some days. So I'm not golden like I was on my walking. Now I still haven't missed a day of walking since November 18. So I'm, over another month into that. But my push-up challenge, I have not been as on track as I would like to be. I was up to about 35 straight push-ups from when I first started out the first night. I think I did 8. So I got exponentially stronger. I'm going to get back on track to where I'm not missing every day, but I'm definitely not going to hit every day of the year because I've already messed that up, unless you're talking about starting now in December. I have been doing good on the weight room, though. I've gotten to the weight room every day I was supposed to this week, so that's going good. I do feel like the push-up challenge was and is great for me. It is making me stronger, but my consistency, I've probably missed since November to now, let's say November 15th to now, December 14th, I've probably missed 10 times. And that's just not acceptable, so I've got to do better, no doubt about it. So let's see, what else do we got here going on? How are you doing a live every Friday? No, I'm not going to be doing a live every Friday because I'm in the middle of wrestling season. My lives, I like to do them on Wednesdays, but we have matches some Wednesdays. And then being that I was not able to post this week, I wanted to hop on here. It was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't advertise it. You can see here, normally I have an average of 40 and I have half that because nobody knew I was going on live, but hopefully they catch it and show me some love in the replay. But yeah, I'm not going to be live every Friday. I will be live most Wednesdays, but if I have a match, I can't be live, how it is when I got to coach the kids. This time of year is very difficult on my time. I'm working sometimes 16-hour days because of the coaching and, trying to get, and then on top of that, my kid's taking jiu-jitsu. So, it's just it's a lot, but that's okay. I'm going to grind through it and I'm going to be here for you guys. I will have consistent videos all next week. Promise. I got my camera situation taken care of. Good morning to you. You lost 45 pounds in 4 months doing keto and OMAD. High five to you. What an amazing job. 45 pounds at 68 years old. Think about that. And next time, if you go to a gym, Bing Lab, man, pick up a 45-pound weight. That's how much you lost. Super proud of you. Thank you, Tattoo Woman. You are amazing. And thank you guys for the likes. Those likes came through a bunch. I appreciate the 5 spot so much. You're just amazing. Another one of my generals right over there, guys. 5 years in maintenance, I believe. Is that right, Tattooed Woman? 5 years in maintenance. That is doing it right. But yet, still, and I'm going to say this with love and respect to her, but she still sometimes gets upset when people question, the way she eats and whatnot. And she's kept it off for 5 years. So we're never immune to other people's criticism, and we should be, because it's your journey, not their journey. And that's something that we're all working on. I know I'm working on it, and I think we all should work on it, but you got to listen to what you do and what you know is right. And she's been doing that 5 years at least in maintenance, maybe more. She'll let me know in a second. You bought a kettlebell and you're doing some kettlebell swings every day. Absolutely love them. Yeah, I bought my wrestling team a whole set of kettlebells. Kettlebells are amazing. Definitely like them. Is French fries bad for you and OMAD? You love it, keeping it up. You're falling in the trap. And keep falling into a trap of eating lunch. Okay. Well, number one, definitely. Let me address the eating lunch thing. You got to do your best to figure out if that's the time of day you want to eat, if that's the time of day you need to eat. By the way, I never even noticed before, but right there that's me and my wife when we were first dating. I was probably 300. I was probably 310 in that one. That's my wedding. So, anyways, just saw that for the first time back there. But let me address this real quick. If you're better off eating lunch, eat lunch. Just try to keep it to the one time. Now, the French fry topic, what do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Like French fries, potatoes are fine. Sweet potatoes, maybe a little bit better, but potatoes are fine. When you're frying the potatoes, obviously it's not the best situation you want to be in. There are things like air fryers now that are supposedly a lot better. I've never actually had a French fry from an air fryer, so I cannot testify whether it's true that they're good or not. But I know that an air fried French fry is probably much better than a deep fried French fry. And I know that oven baked fries really aren't that big a deal. And you can actually take some potatoes if you like fries, cut potatoes up, throw some olive oil on them, maybe a little bit of seasoning, stick them in the oven, and they're delicious, and they're better because it's good fats instead of deep frying them. French fries are not going to be good for you as far as nutritional value. But with that said, let me just say this, that a French fry during your OMAD is not going to kill you. If you go to a restaurant once a month or twice a month and you have a hamburger and fries, you're going to survive during your OMAD. You just can't have a hamburger and fries and fall off other times that week and expect to continue to lose weight. So it's about being smart. It's about balancing. But through my 125 pounds, I'm going to be honest, I've had some French fries. Ain't no doubt about that. So you said you love, medicine balls. Hey, I got medicine balls too, man. Got all that good stuff over in my wrestling room. You guys should come over and get a workout in. Kettlebells are definitely good stuff. So it's 5 to 7 years, a little rocky in the beginning. It went up and down. Look at that. 5 to 7 years of kind of being in maintenance. See, there's boiling a potato and sticking them in ketchup's good stuff. No doubt about it. But listen to this, because I do think you guys need to take a minute to hear that, because I think that Tattooed woman will tell you in the comments too here, if she's got a second, that it's still sort of a struggle at times, that she watches some videos and she feels like, and I don't want to talk for you, but sometimes you feel like you're, the person is right and you need to make an adjustment, although you've been good for so long. And I think that we all fall into that trap. I'm going to tell you now that there's occasionally a time when I feel like, okay, well, somebody will make a comment to me and I'll read it and I'll say, well, you know what, man, maybe they're right. Maybe it is time I adjust this, or maybe it is time I adjust that. And then I stop and remember that this is my journey and that it's my journey. It's going to be my decision on what I do with it. And I move on from there. So I do think it's something that each one of us has to navigate ourselves. So it is a little bit of a struggle, I think, for everybody. But if any message is being taken from this video tonight, I hope that you understand that it is your journey, not my journey, not anyone else's journey, and that you have to do what's working for you and adjust. And the last thing is, you do need to think about adjustments when you get hit into situations, but use your common sense and do what is best and easiest for you to maintain what you're doing for the long term. And if you can do that, I think you'll be golden. Some days you just try to eat healthy all day and you end up binging. Yeah, I think that yeah, OMAD's the only thing that works for me too. To be honest with you, I think it's amazing. But I think each and every one of you might find completely different. You might find that OMAD is not for you. And so, you may find that 16 and 8's for you, and you may find that, fasting isn't for you at all, but I think it's amazing. So you appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating me. You said one of your videos means more for that reason. Yeah, well, I did start the channel to help you guys out. I hope it is helping. If it is helping, when you watch the replay, leave a comment down below. Let me know it's helping. Make me feel the love. I appreciate you guys so much. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I just heard my kids pop in from jiu-jitsu. So I'm going to go hang out with them and spend a good Friday night. Watch maybe something like Home Alone with the fam, because it is the Christmas season. It's time to do some Christmas movie watching with my lovely family. So I appreciate every one of you. On the replay, you're going to see the face. It's going to pop up right about there. That, if you click on it, will subscribe to this channel. It is free. Information I'm giving you is priceless. Become a weight loss warrior. And all you guys over there in the chat, you weight loss warriors, love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me in this Impromptu live. Look, my son popped in, guys. There he is. Hello. Hey, Lex. Love you. Love all you weight loss warriors. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.